This is Minimalish. I'm your host, Desiree, and before we get started, let me be clear. This podcast isn't just about minimalism. It's a podcast about living fully. Over the past few years, I've learned that living with a little less in our homes and on our calendars leads to less cluttering up our minds, which simply helps give us the space to give our time and thoughts to the things that actually matter. So what do we talk about on here? We talk about minimalism and decluttering and how to get there, yes. But we also have conversations about pursuing intentionality in the things that matter, like our motherhood, faith, relationships, work, and mindset. Minimalish is a podcast for the women committed to contentment and loving the life in front of them, committed to living with a little less so they can create space for the things that matter most. What it's not about, how many spoons you should have, or any kind of rules or legalistic minimalism that promises you'll be happier if you just get rid of more stuff. Getting rid of stuff isn't what will make you happy. It's about the life you live with the new space you find. If that sounds good to you, grab a mug of whatever you like and stick around. I'm so grateful you're here. Hey friends, welcome back to Minimalish. I'm so excited to be chatting with you one-on-one today, chatting with you solo today, because I have not done a solo episode in quite some time. The last time I did this, actually, we were talking about COVID-19. Really, we were just talking about, I was just addressing it as a content creator, and it was maybe a 10-minute episode. And that was a while ago, because now we are still under stay-at-home orders, but it is over a month since then. And I am excited to talk to you today about the topic of habits. And I really want to talk to you mainly about one major thing that I have learned about building habits that has changed the game for me over these past few months. And this is something that, looking back, I realized any habit that I was able to build that felt like a really hard one was because of this as the foundation. And the habit I'm currently continuing to work on building, and I feel like I have tackled it right now, is the habit of moving my body daily. Now, I am not a habits expert. I don't know what really makes you a habits expert. I guess if you've done a lot of research on it, that could make you an expert on habits. Someone like James Clear, who you should definitely look up. You should definitely go read his blog and read his book, Atomic Habits, for true research and a good foundation on building habits in general, because habits are so important. Habits help us put important things that we want to get done more on autopilot so that we don't have to put so much effort into doing them. They take away that idea of willpower that we don't always have and make it so that we do the thing anyways, whatever that thing may be. So things for me that I have really been able to build habits around, the three main ones that I can think of are waking up early, which is something I wanted to do for so many years, but struggled until the summer of 2018 is when I finally was able to start doing that consistently. The habit of working, which sounds silly, but it's more like I work for myself. So it's just a habit and discipline of doing the things that I need to do when I don't have anyone telling me what to do. And just work habits in general I've been able to build. I'm not going to talk about those habits specifically. I'm just giving some examples. And then for me right now, I am really kind of 2.5 months into building a fitness, wellness, moving my body habit that has been a long time coming. Last time I was able to move this often and get myself to actually do that was before my wedding. And I had something that was motivating me, just the idea that I was getting married soon and I was going to be in front of a lot of people. Whether you think that is a healthy motivation or not, that's what was motivating me and keeping me moving forward with the habit of moving my body back then. And ever since then, I have not had a really deep why that has kept me going. Either way, this podcast is not about fitness or working out, though I will probably refer to that as my example habit. What we are going to talk about today is that main thing that I have learned that has changed the game in forming habits for me. But also, I want to just talk about some other tips that I've learned throughout this most recent journey of habit building and looking back at the other things that have helped me build habits. The number one thing I'm going to tell you right now, right at the beginning of this podcast episode, just so if you get distracted and you forget to come back, which I hope you don't, I hope you come back if you do get distracted from this episode. But either way, I want you to know this. The main thing that has changed my ability to form a habit that I've been wanting to form for years, that I could never figure out how to form, is coming at the habit building process from a place of love. That sounds so woo-woo, I'm sure, but it has changed the game. So coming at habit building from a place of love for myself, a place of love for the thing that I'm trying to build into my life that I had once said that I hated, fitness, waking up early, all of those things. At one time or another, I've told myself, I do not like doing those things. I do not want to do those things, but I'm going to try to build a habit to do them. Why? I had to change my perspective on how I felt about the thing that I was trying to build into my life. My mind was thinking, you don't like this thing. How am I going to will you to do them until we get to the point of autopilot? How is that going to happen if you hate doing the thing that you are trying to build into your day? It's also about coming at these habits from a place of love for yourself, from a place of believing in yourself, believing that you are capable of forming this habit. No matter what you have shown yourself to be capable of in the past, you are capable of this. Believing that you deserve the time that it takes to do this thing and build it into your life, to make this habit happen. Coming at it from a place of grace, that one slip up, one day off, a couple days off, it's not ruining your progress in the habit building process. You can continue. You don't have to start from scratch. You can continue. And each day that you continue gets you closer to where you want to be, which is having this new thing, whatever it is, built into your life as a habit. I want to backtrack a little bit to say that I used to think that I was bad at habits. Couldn't figure out how to make them happen. There is discipline that needs to take place to actually create a new habit. And I personally, for many years, counted myself as the type of person that was never going to be able to establish the new habits that I wanted to. I think that along the way, this is probably like the past 10 years of my life, I would every once in a while feel like I can set some goals to create new habits in my life and I am going to conquer this. And, usually those happen around January 1st, probably. I get this push of motivation and think to myself, this is it. I'm going to be great at habits and I'm going to change my ways and build all of these new habits into my life. Ultimately, I'd end up failing after a week or two, which made me believe that I was bad at habits. The cycle looked like this year after year. The more the cycle continued, the more I believed that I'm just not a habits person. Maybe the best word is just that I am not a disciplined type of person. But I can say now that I'm still very much a type B person. I still very much will choose to ignore my to-do list and skip a routine and skip a habit if it's not well established in my life. That is part of who I am. I'm not trying to change who I am at the core, but I've changed the story of I am capable of doing things that are healthy for me. I am capable of building these habits into my life that are going to benefit me. The thing is that you don't have to be disciplined. You don't have to have routines in your life. You don't have to have good habits in your life to be a good person. So I just want to put that out there. You don't have to do any of these things to be worthy. You are fine. You are good. You are enough right now. You don't have to add anything to that. But this isn't about adding worth to yourself. This is not about doing something to become happier with yourself. And I think that's what I thought habits were for so long. I thought that they were a way for me to love myself better and become happier with myself. Like, I don't like myself now, but if I can just build in this habit of waking up earlier, in turn, that habit will make me like myself better. This is the story that I thought, this is what I thought was true about habits and about being a more disciplined person, that I don't really like myself right now, but if I can be more disciplined, if I could just get this straight, then I will like myself better. If you feel like you are bad at habits, then try creating this new habit out of love for yourself instead of out of disdain for yourself. Instead of out of wanting to change who you are at the core, start from a much better, a much more successful place of caring for yourself and loving yourself enough that you want to create this new healthy habit in your life. You want to wake up earlier because you want more time for yourself. Whatever it might be, you want to do this habit, whatever it is, so that you can care for yourself better because you love yourself and you want to take care of yourself. If you come at a habit from a place of not liking yourself, if you come at it from a place of frustration with yourself, one little slip up is going to make you quit, most likely, because you're going to be so frustrated with yourself. You're going to be totally unhappy with yourself, and you're going to think to yourself, this is not even worth the effort. Because deep down, you're thinking, I don't deserve this anyways. So whatever you can do to get to this point of gentleness and love for yourself, and then also love for the thing that you're trying to implement into your life, a much more positive view of yourself and a much more positive view of that habit is going to create a much more positive outcome to this process of building a new habit in your life. This is the main thing I've seen as a difference between when I've tried to build one habit before and when I've tried to build the same habit now, is that I've built it out of caring for myself. So that's really the first step. I hope you're enjoying today's discussion on habits, but I want to take a second to thank our sponsors helping make today's episode possible. I'm so excited to tell you about Gaia Natural Cleaners. They create cleaning products that help make going green simple because everyone deserves to live in a healthy and happy environment. They're committed to helping you save money, protect the planet, and eliminate toxins from your home. I want to tell you about Gaia's mission, and I especially want to tell you about their Everything soap. It's a concentrated, natural soap that you can use to clean pretty much everything, which is why it's called Everything soap. You'll save money because each concentrate fills up a typical soap pump bottle 15 times. Every ingredient is listed right on the label, plus their soap concentrate allows you to save on plastic and help care for the environment as well. They're also Leaping Bunny certified, which means none of their products will ever be tested on animals. And my favorite thing about this soap is that it's a clutter-free product. You only need one product by your kitchen for washing dishes, washing your hands. You can even use it as body wash. You can use it in the bathroom for multiple purposes, hand wash, body wash, and they'll even be releasing an all-purpose cleaner that's going to be perfect in a spray bottle to wipe down all your surfaces. Their goal is that these two solutions, their Everything soap, which you can get now, and their all-purpose cleaning solution, which is coming soon, you'll be able to clean everything and you will not have to have those 17 bottles that are currently piling up under your sink right now. You can go to GaiaNaturalCleaners.com, that's GAIA naturalcleaners.com, and use code MINIMALISH to get 20% off your order until the end of May. I also want to thank Feels. Do you experience stress, have anxiety, or chronic pain, or maybe you have trouble sleeping once or twice a week? You are not alone. And right now, we are living through a time when many of us are experiencing stress and anxiety, maybe more than usual. Personally, I struggle with anxiety, and I am grateful that I discovered Feels. It's a premium CBD that's delivered directly to your doorstep. Feels helps naturally reduce stress, anxiety, pain, and sleeplessness. The thing to remember with CBD is that finding your right dose is important, so leave room to experiment over the course of a week or so. You may need to take more or less to get the effects that you're after, but what I love about Feels is that if you're new to CBD, they have support for you. They offer a free CBD hotline to help guide your personal experience, and I have loved talking with them and hearing their passion behind helping people through these issues like anxiety and getting guidance on using CBD effectively. Feels works naturally to help you feel better. There's no high or hangover or addiction with CBD. It's just a natural way to combat these things like anxiety, stress, chronic pain, and sleeplessness. So you can join the Feels community and get Feels delivered straight to your door every month. You'll save on every order and you can pause or cancel at any time. You could try Feels today by going to feels.com/minimalist and you'll get 50% off your first order with free shipping. That's feals.com/minimalist with a T to become a member and get 50% automatically taken off your first order with free shipping. Feals.com/minimalist. All right, friend, let's get back to today's episode. I do want to go through just some other things that I have found have been helpful for me. The second idea that has helped me is just to simply create time for it. Put it on a schedule, work with the people around me to make it happen. Not only does this help so that someone else doesn't have some other expectations of you whenever you're expecting to have time for whatever this habit is that you want to build into your life, but it also helps with the whole willpower thing. You're not always going to have the willpower that it takes to do this thing that you are trying to do. But if it's on your schedule, if you've carved out time for it, you are more likely to not make the excuse of, I just don't have time. So create time for it now. And maybe creating time in your day for a thing that you truly enjoy, a thing that you love to do, or a thing that you want to implement in your life, maybe that's the habit you even need to start with. The next thing that has helped me create habits that have been hard for me in the past is community. Surrounding yourself with people that are going to encourage you to create this habit in your life is going to be so helpful. And it doesn't have to be like a full gym full of people. It doesn't have to be 20 best friends. It can be one friend that is going to text you and check up on you and how you've been doing. Maybe you both go in on it together. It can be a spouse. It can be really anyone who is close to you that you trust to hold you accountable. The fourth thing that has helped is the hardest to implement. And there's really no step-by-step process. It's just that on those days where your willpower is down, where you don't want to do it, where you are teetering between completely breaking the habit and going rogue and deciding you're not going to continue on whatever path this is and continuing on the path, is you have to just do it anyways. And of course, there are things that you can do to help you do that, like a reward, make it fun somehow. If it's not the most exciting thing in the world, like if waking up morning doesn't sound so fun to you, but you want to do it because you know it's going to be beneficial for you, is there something you can look forward to when you get out of bed that is going to keep you moving, that is going to make you do it anyways, even when you don't feel like it? Same with workouts. For me, I have found that putting on some really loud music that I enjoy and just the idea that working out is somewhat time for myself has pushed me to do it anyways in the times where I don't want to do it, because I think, oh, I get this reward of alone time. Oh, I get this reward of listening to music I really like and having time for myself. So it's helped me push through not wanting the physically hard part of the workout so that I can experience the benefits, the things that I enjoy about that time. But either way, you just have to do it in those moments when you don't want to do it. And the best thing you can do is that first time that you're experiencing that feeling of, I'm just not going to do it today, whatever it is, whatever the habit is. I'm not really talking about working out here. Just want to make that clear. It could be anything. Just do it anyways. And sometimes that can look like making the very first step, right? Doing the next right thing to get closer to just doing it. For me, for the workout thing, okay, well, I'm just going to put my shoes on and then I'm going to think about it even more. That gets me closer to doing it. Make the first step and go from there. To kind of piggyback on that, another thing that has helped me is to build on smaller habits. So I think sometimes when we are trying to create new habits in our life, we're trying to create several. Like, we don't realize it. We think it's just one habit, but if you look a little bit more closely, it's actually like 5 habits in one. So just pick one small piece of that habit and build on that. If your habit is health and wellness in general, and you're thinking, okay, I'm going to go on a workout program or whatever, and you are trying to work out 5 days a week, plus you're trying to eat healthy, that's a lot of habits that need to be built to get to that point of consistency there. So just pick one small habit. Once you've got that one down, you can build on it by creating another small habit on top of that. And those are just the main things that I have been learning about habits lately through building a new habit over these past few months and really solidifying it. I have just learned a lot about myself, learned a lot about how building habits works for me, for a person who has believed that I am bad at habits for a very long time. And I think one other thing I want to end this with is just the idea that we have to tell ourselves a different story about habit building. Whether you are well into your habit or not, if you're still telling yourself the story that you're bad at habits, this belief about yourself is going to derail you. Discipline, habits, they come from a place of believing that we are capable of doing the habit. We are capable of bettering ourselves and doing things that are good for us. We are capable of choosing health, choosing growth in our lives. It comes from a place of believing that we are worthy of a life that doesn't just happen to us, but is one that we enjoy, one that we do the things that are good for us, do the things that fill us up, even when we don't necessarily feel like it. So tell yourself that story, that you are capable of this. If the thing that you want to do and implement in your life seems so far-fetched because you've just never succeeded at it before, it might come down mostly to belief and how much you believe that you are capable of it or not. If the stories of your life have told you so far that you are not capable of it, that does not mean that you are not. That does not rule it out. You are capable, especially when you come at it from a place of belief and from a place of love. Like I said in the beginning, there is so much more to building habits than what I just said. These are simply things that have helped me as a person who, for a very long time, believed I was bad at habits. I am linking the things that I recommend in the show notes to learn more about habits and to learn more about habit building, because that is another next step. Learn more about habit building, and then that will help you build habits into your life that are important to you. But also, I talked with Rachel from the Sage Family Podcast, and she and I talked about habits, and she's brilliant when it comes to habit building. I love that conversation so much. It's one of my favorite conversations I ever had on a podcast. So I am also going to link the podcast episode, which is on her podcast, the Sage Family Podcast, so that you can go over and listen to that much longer conversation about habits if you want more on habits. I want to encourage you, though, right now, if you are feeling encouraged right now about habits, to think of a time in your life where you did create a positive habit, where you were disciplined, where you were able to accomplish something significant. Maybe it was a college degree. Maybe it was transitioning into motherhood. Maybe it was starting a new job. Whatever it was, something significant, whether it was a habit you built or just a lot of new things in our lives take habit building anyways. So I want you to think of one of those things, and that is going to help you have a little bit more belief in yourself and see that you are capable of doing the thing that you want to do, of implementing and building this habit into your life that you want to build. I hope that you can come at your habit building endeavors from that place of love. I hope that you can tell yourself a new story about who you are, about how capable you are when it comes to building something good for you into your life. And I believe that you will be so much more successful when you come at these things from a place of love than from a place of negativity. All right, friends, I hope this episode was encouraging to you in some way. And if it was, would you share it with a friend or share it on Instagram? Invite other women into this community. I'm so glad you listened in today. I'm so grateful for you. And I will talk to you again right back here next week.